Well, first of all, from a personal point of view, I suspect that this is a really important moment for Prime Minister Bennett. It's his first shot at speaking to the world stage. There's something very solemn about the General Assembly, the first week of the General Assembly, and the addresses to the world. So certainly he must be very excited about that. On the other hand, we shouldn't forget that his predecessor, Benjamin Netanyahu, this was his favorite moment of the year, of every year. And this was an exercise in which he excelled. Everybody agrees about that. So Naftali Bennett must feel that he will be under very close scrutiny and comparison. And I'm not sure that that is a very pleasant feeling.
Now, certainly that stage and really the world's attention being dominated by Prime Minister Netanyahu at the time for some 12 years there in that role. But looking at some of the issues on the table right now, and we saw Mahmoud Abbas of the Palestinian Authority deliver a speech at the end of this last week here, and now talking about an ultimatum of withdrawing from territory by the end of the year or having further international activity. We saw Benny Gantz issue a response to this already. How do we see Israel responding to this ultimatum from Abbas?
I don't know. Of course, I haven't seen the speech, but I would think that the right approach would be a balance between, on the one hand, rejecting this kind of ultimatum. It's not the kind of language that is helpful in any way in renewing contacts between the two sides. But on the other hand, continuing the approach of this government from day one, which means basically saying we are not able, under the current political circumstances, both in Israel and in the Palestinian Authority, to move forward significantly towards a definitive solution of the political disagreement between Israel and the Palestinians. But we do wish to move forward on a number of issues that concern the well-being and the quality of life of Palestinians, the economic situation of the Palestinian Authority, other civil issues such as the environment, education, and other things. I think there is a real willingness in Israel to reestablish direct contacts between the Israeli government and the Palestinian Authority on a number of such issues. And I think that the UN General Assembly is really a good place to stress this.
Certainly.
I also,
yes.
Well, clearly he will speak about Iran. I don't believe that there will be any kind of breakthrough or novelty in what he will say. He will definitely speak about the importance of the Abraham Accords and the hope that Israel still harbors that these agreements will expand. And I think he will speak about a kind of a different approach of Israeli relations generally with the international community, which is more of engagement and dialogue than confrontation.
Certainly no shortage of issues on the table for the new Israeli premier. Thank you very much, Ambassador Daniel Shek.